Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining us from. My name is Omalala Alfred, and with me here is David. Hi, David. How you doing? How is your site today?
Yes, hello everyone. Yes, I'm doing very fine. I'm doing good. Excited to be here. Yeah, so this is great. Again, yeah, this is day six, right? And we've done a lot, we've covered a lot. So I'm sure today you have a lot to show them. I'm sure that most people have practiced some of the things we've taught them already in terms of like the formulas that we did yesterday, the galleries that we did about 2 days ago. So I'm sure now today we're able to take it a step further. And okay, so if you have a gallery of items, you want to find something in your data source, you want to filter something, let me don't say too much basically. So I'll hand over back to you so you give us more details on what I'm going to do today, basically. Yeah.
Awesome, 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 awesome. David, you have, spilled it and you have said some of the things that we'll be doing today. So, welcome to day six, everyone. And today we'll be looking at search and filter. How can I use you would have gone to websites and you'll be able to throw in something in the search box and search, and it will filter a list, say a table. And so basically that's what we'll be doing today. We'll be using search. We'll learn how to create a search box in Power Apps. We'll also learn how to filter Power Apps table based on something. So let me stop the talking and share my screen. All right. So let's just see what we have here today and what we are doing today. All right. So I'm going to insert, I'm going to bring in, so I will just click out of here and I'll bring in a blank screen. Okay, so this is my blank screen, and you know how we do it. We are just going to go to the view property and put in some colors. So all the times that we've come here, one of the things that we did, we just selected a color like this and we went ahead to build. Another thing you can do, if you don't like any of these colors, you can actually come to custom and search for a color that you are comfortable with, right? If you don't like this, you can choose this, you can do this. So today I just want something very, 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 very light. Okay, so let's just do something very light. Yeah, this is fine. Yes, so this is what we're going to be using for our screens today. And what do we really want to do today? We want to so let's just bring in a text label, make it very big. And what are we learning today? We are learning search and filter. Okay, so we are learning search and filter. You see it's small. What do we do? Increase the size. So by now you should be very familiar with the font size of text label, know how to align it. Those are very simple. And semi bold, align center. So we are looking at search and filter today, and let's just make this a little bit fine. We can use dancing script, search and filter. No, let's make it so that people can see. Let's use Patrick and search and filter. We can make it a little bit bigger, 70. Awesome. So now it's in our face. So once you come here, you see search and filter, search and filter. How do I search? So that's our first screen. We want to insert a new screen, and I'll just come here and copy this color code. So remember that we learned, one of the things we learned was what? Was variable. So this is how to do a global variable. So what I'm doing now is I'm repeating so that we get to learn these things better. So set, and I'll just say color. I'll just say today's color. And the value is this. Okay. So right now it's flagging me. So one of the ways you can, or one of the things you can do is if you hover on this to tell you why it is flagging. So it's saying that behavior function in a non-behavior property. You can't use this value to change values elsewhere in the app. Why is that? So this is happening because I have written this code inside of my start screen. So let us copy this out. So we had said that for us to set global variable and we want to run it once the app starts, we need to use the property on start. So let's copy the same thing here and we can see that it is not flagging us, right? So anytime you see an error, don't be quick to, oh, this is an error. Just hover on it and Power Apps will tell you what is wrong or why you are having that error. All right. So now we have this, and remember, you have to come to the app here and do run on start. So now, if you come to the back of this place and you hover on it, you'll be able to see the value of your color. So I can just run on start again. And now so now one of the things I can do, I can just come to screen 2 and let's see if it's working. Take away this and say today's color. It's working. So come to screen 3, take away fill and say today's color. Awesome. So now let us, one of the things that we've learned over the course of during the course of this training is um how to bring in our data. By now, we know how to bring in our data, add data, go to SharePoint, and all of that. So I already have my data in this application. So what I just want to do is I want to come to screen 3 and add a gallery. So go to Insert, and you can just pick vertical gallery. But one of the things I'm going to show us is so vertical gallery already has, so let me just show you vertical gallery. So if you insert vertical gallery, this is vertical gallery. It already has all of these things. It has some controls in it already. It has, this is a label control. You can see. Okay, so we have some controls basically in this already. We have a label control. We have image control inside this gallery already. However, we don't want to use this. What we want to use, go to Insert and go to Layout. You will see galleries. So what we want to do is, these are different type of galleries, right? So I'm just going to select blank vertical gallery. Now it means that this is blank, right? But then it's vertical. So I need to be the one to insert my own I'll be the one to insert my own controls, right? So first things first, your gallery is saying add an item from the insert pane or connect to data. So this is my list, right? This is my SharePoint list, and I will select it. So now my gallery is going to do what? My gallery is feeding from my SharePoint list. Okay, so let's bring this down. All right. So another thing I'm going to do, I'm going to now insert label control inside of my gallery. So select the pencil logo, go to insert label. Okay, do another insert, bring in another thing. do another insert, and bring in another thing. Okay, so this particular database, let me just show you what it looks like. So this is the database, right? This was what we did, I think day before yesterday. So we have title, we have request, we have description. So let's go back to our app. So I have different controls. That's label control, 3 label control inside of this. So how a gallery works is that gallery, since I've connected it to my database, how many items do I have in my database? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So automatically my gallery knows that it's going to show 6 lines of data. All right. So all I need, I don't need to drop in, let's see. So we have 3 columns and we have 1, 2, 3, 6 rows. So in my gallery, I don't need to drop in, um that's 6 times 3. I don't need to drop in 18 label control. All I need to do is just to drop 3 label control, right? Then I will now reference the column. So I will say that since my gallery already knows that I have 6 rows of data, right? So what it's going to do is that if I drop in 1 label control, I need to tie this label control to a column. So I've tied it to my title column. What's in my title column? Name. So let's come here, make it a little bit big. Okay, we are going somewhere. Follow me. The next thing we want to do, select the next label control that you have. This one is referencing this item does staff does display name. There's nothing there. Let's check. Is there something there? No. This is your staff name. It's blank. So in your app, magic will not happen. It will still be blank. So what we want to do, we want to say this item, right? Dot what? Dot request. So this item dot request dot value. Why? Because my request is a choice data type, meaning that there might be different values inside that column. So I need to say, show me the value inside request column. All right. So I've referenced it. It's showing us laptop and all of that. Then we have another one. So this one is referencing description. So we can just make it longer. So let's make our gallery longer than this, or wider than this rather, and make our description show each different thing, that there are 6 lines of data in your database. So it is going to show what? 6 records. All right. All you just need to do is to do what? Reference that I'm playing with, right? It's called template size. So this is like the height. This is like the difference between one record and another record. Okay. So this is not a good UI, right? So that I can see all my clothes, I can just see all my data like this. But if we add more data, all right, what will happen? We are going to see more record here. So Power Apps is, the way Power BI is used for analyzing data, right? Power Automate is used for what? For automating data. Power Apps is also used for displaying data. Now I have displayed my data, but I want to be able to show or limit the kind of data that I have in this database, right? So one of the first thing before we just a little bit of labeling here. So let's do a little bit of labeling. So another thing I'm going to introduce to you is container. So I'm just going to bring in container. So I showed you this container and to manage how control, right? I like the container so much because it helps me know structure where some of my controls are. right? So what I want to put inside this container is I'll select this, copy it, and paste it. So I'm just going to label exactly what we are doing. All right. You can see container inside of, I didn't put content of my right, because if I put my content gallery, gallery, gallery is meant to show the number of records, and I just want this to show once. So this is my gallery, right? And this is my container. So for us to know where it is, we're just going to give this gallery exactly, and we're going to this container just the same length, the same width of the gallery. We're going to arrange this to what we have inside of the gallery. Okay, so another thing that you can do is, okay, so let's give this name. So this is names. So we are labeling now. This is a request. And what is this? This is description. Awesome. So what have we done? We've done names, we've done request, and we've done description. Okay. So I'm going to just bring this down. I'll bring this down too. Okay. So I'm also going to give this my container a border of 2, right? I'll give my container a border of 2, but my container is black, so of course this might look a little bit, so. Right. So what I want to do now is I want to bring in a search box so that when I type in something, it's going to it's going to, this I'm going to take away the border because I don't want the border to be there. I use this border just to arrange things and to make it look orderly. So I'll take away this. However, I want a demarcation, right? I want to give this I want line inside of it. So I can, so this is drop shadow. I can take drop shadow so that this my container is just like this. But I want to design this a little. So one of the trick that I do is I just come in here and I bring in rectangle. I would make the rectangle of height 0.7. So actually, all I'm using this to do is to divide. So I've removed it because I want to hide of gallery. Okay. So what I want to do is that I want to use this to divide. So I'll make it long, just enough. So I'll make it long enough. All of this is just, I'm just showing you. You can see it is now, I don't want it to be 2, I want it to be 0.6 or 7 faint. Awesome. So this is it. I have this This is a little bit, so I don't need to like put border. This is um better. So now let us bring in our search box. So how do we do that? Insert and bring in text input. So remember, why are we not using label? What's the difference between text input and label? So put in the chat box, what is the difference between text input? I've said it before in this class. What's the difference between text input and label? Why am I not using label? Why am I using text input instead? All right. So let me show you one of the things I did with before the class started. So this is my data. I'm playing with. I actually used a gallery. That was what I used, right? And this is one of the things that we are going to do, right? We are going to filter by all. We are going to filter by data. We are going to filter by laptop. We are going to filter by leave, right? And we are going to do that also by label text and see one of the things that we did. So now what we actually want to do is we want to be able to filter using um our search box. So let me show you that work. Okay, awesome. So now what I've done is I have commented out this line of code and I'm just going to use this line of code. So let's just see what is actually happening. So if I come in here, I play my app here and I type in Omo, what's happening? If I come in here and I type in tires, filtering, right? I come here and I type in filtering it, right? If I don't type anything, it shows me everything. So that's exactly what we want to actually do now. What do we want to do? I want to be able to filter our gallery with whatever we put it with, what we put in inside our search box. So let us just go to screen 2, screen 3, and do that. So this is so here we have text inputs. Select your gallery, and what is actually populating data, right, inside your gallery is a function of a property called items. Items. So before we go on, let me just check what you was saying. So right. So sorry about that. Um. Yes. Can you hear me clearly, or there's still an echo from my side, David? Please unmute. I don't know why I can't hear you, David. But hi, David. Please try talking now. Confirm you can hear me. All right. So, Pius, you can hear me. I'm just going to go ahead and continue. All right. So, let me just quickly bring my screen back up and we'll go ahead with what we are learning today. Awesome. So what we were trying to do is exactly what we have in here, right? We are trying to be able to filter our words. We're trying to be able to filter our gallery with whatever we have inside of our text box. And I saw in the comment section, some of us are actually writing and we've written the difference between text control and input control. So basically the input control allows you to be able to write into this particular box. But what does a text label do? A text label will just show, right? So we can say that text input is like the word is input allows you to take in value, while label control just display a particular value that you've already put inside of it, right? So remember what we want to do. So what the line of code that we have here, I'm just going to explain it to you in the next screen. So now what we have here is our text input. So we are going to select our gallery. So I was explaining that the function of items is what actually shows everything that is displayed inside of this gallery. If you take away this, right, there will be nothing in your gallery. But if you come in here, what's the name of your data source again? Learning Canvas app. If you come in here and you say learning Canvas app, right? It will populate again your data. So what we want to do, right? I've always told us that Power Apps is not really about the effects you're writing. It's really about logic. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to be able to filter the whatever I have inside of here. So what I'll just write a simple line of code inside of this item. So instead of saying, give me everything in my learning Canvas app, right? Instead, I'm going to take this away and say filter. Filter what? Filter my data source. What's the name of my data source? My data source is Learning Canvas app. And I'm going to say comma. And I will say start with. Okay, I don't know why. Uh, all right. Oh, oops. One. Oh. Where's this? 1 second, please. All right. So I'm sharing my screen again. All right. So take us back there. screen 3. All right. So I'm saying filter learning Canvas app, and I will say start. All right. So start with, what do I actually want to start with? I want to start with title. Title is what? Title is the column that I want to be able to search with, right? Let's go back to our database. So title is where I have Omolola David, Omola Alfred Pius, Yemi, and Shade Black, right? So what we want to do is we want to be able to search by any want to be able to search by any of this name, right? So we are saying title, and we are saying comma. Um, what's the name of this text in field 2? Dot text. Close it. So basically, what does, and close again. So basically, what does this mean? It means that I want to search, right? I want to be able to search Learning Canvas app with title, right? And text input 2 dot text. Okay, let's play this and let's see Omolola and see if you're going to get any data. Yes, we are getting a data from Omolola Alfred. Let's type in David, right? It's filtering. Let's take it away. What do we have? We have all of our data in here. So the same thing, if I close this guy and I bring in another screen, so we can even do it on the same page. So I'm going to make this gallery small, right? And I'm going to move this gallery to this side. Now I'm going to move my control. Okay. So what do I want to do now? I want to insert a form. And edit form quickly. We looked at this yesterday. No, day before yesterday. So now we have two controls that are doing two amazing things. This particular control is filtering. This particular control is showing all of my data. What is this one doing? This is my search, and it's searching this box, right? So what I'm going to use my data, my form to do is just to be able to bring in data into my SharePoint list. All right. Remember what we did the other day? I'm going to remove staff name. I'm going to remove attachment, remove. I'm going to change the columns to 1. Just something cute. I'll have it by the side here, right? I'm going to also insert a button to be able to submit data. We have this before. So I just want to show you how any data that you add into your SharePoint, it is going to just populate this. It's going to go ahead and populate this gallery. Okay. Another way that you can make your search box look very realistic, that is a search box, is to add an icon inside of it. So I'm going to insert icon. So you can just add any icon actually, right? And I will change this icon here, right? So this is saying icon, but you can select the kind of icon that you want. So I'll just come here and say search, right? This is the icon that I want. It has changed it. Awesome. So if I play my app now, anybody that comes into my app, they know that this is doing what? Is searching. Okay? This is searching, this is searching. So they can go ahead and search. But you can see that when I put in my cursor is standing where? It's standing on this search box. So what do I want to do? I want to select this this text input. Go down and the padding, meaning that I want to give space. So I will just say 40. Padding left. So I'm using the padding left. So what I'm saying, padding basically means give space. Give space. So padding top means give space at the top. But padding bottom means give space at the bottom. Padding right means give space, right? So padding left, what is going to happen? If I play this now, you can see that my cursor now starts from here. It means that it has given it a space of 40, right? So I can go and type in Omolola to just go ahead and filter my gallery. Okay, I can take it away. Now, what do I want to do? Remember what we said about the form? We are using an edit form. The default is that this form is what? An edit form. What do we want to do to this form? We want to go ahead to the default mode of this form and turn it to a new form. Okay? And what we want to do now is, remember, one of the ways for you to master something is through repetition. When you do it over and over and over and over again, you get used to it. On the 8th day of this training, we will not explain as I'm explaining step by step. We'll just come here and build an app from scratch to end, right? So that's why you can see I'm adding a form again, and I'm showing us again how to customize this form. All right, so we've gone to the default of our form. Select your form, go to the default of the form and select what? Default mode. So I select my form, default mode of my form. I'm selecting what? New. Then I come to my button here. And what do I want to do? I want to say on submit, on select of my button. I want to say submit the form to me. The form I want to submit is what? Form 1. Form 1. Now, when this immediately I submit this form, I want to do something. I want to say what? New form. Once I submit this form, I want to say new form. My new form is what? Form 1. All right. So let us go ahead and put in data. So let's just see. Type in your name into the chat box so that I get your name and I put your name here. So today is my sister's birthday. I'm just going to type in Mokwelola Alfred. Mokwelola Alfred. Description is what? Birthday girl. Request is so she can rest. Now, before we go on, this is same button. Let us make this save so that we know what we are doing. Play this and save. So now, immediately, we can see Mokwelola here. Leave, birthday girl. So drop in your names so that I can put in your names here. David, aka Agba teacher. All right, I like that. Let me just come in here and type in David. Because David is somebody I respect so much, I would say Oga Agba teacher. Request David needs leave because he needs to rest. All right. we can see that our gallery is actually doing what? Our gallery is increasing. And I can come here and search and say, the only thing I want to be able to do, I want to search David. So what is the first description that we have here? David data is requesting for data because he's a trainer. Here we are saying David, he needs leave because he's Oga Agba teacher. All right. So drop in your name. Drop in your name. This is getting very interesting. What are we doing? Give Warieta, aka Techie G. Okay. 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 So I know gift. I'm just going to say gift, and I'm going to say Techie G. I hope I got this. What do you need? Let's give you a laptop and save it. So we can see this here. All right, gift, laptop, Techie G, and we can search. Now, what if we want to be able to search with, because right now, let's do something. Let's search with um Agba trainer. It will not be there. Can somebody tell me why you think I cannot search with Agba trainer? Now, the reason is because Agba trainer sits where? Agba trainer sits in the description. And we have told this gallery, what did we tell the gallery to do? We said filter learning canvas app. That's our list. Where it starts with what? Title. And what are you looking at? Whatever I put into my text input. Let's make this more readable. Let's rename this text input to search box, right? Oh, I already have a search box here. Let's say my search box. All right, I have my search box. So my input is now my search box. So if I go to this, it's telling me start with title, right? So search learning canvas app, but I want you to start with title. Where? What are you searching? What are you looking at? My search box text. That's whatever text I write into my search box. And I want you to look at title. So Omolola David, Pius, Yemi, Mopelola Alfred, David, Gift, all of them, Shade Black, they are where? Inside title. If I change this now and I say description, all right, I've said description and I will play. So if I say Agba, it's bringing in Agba for me, but I'm telling it to start with. So you can see, even though in David's own, David has Oga Agba trainer, but because it is starting with what? Description. Agba. Oga Agba trainer does not start with Agba. And that's why you can only see Omolola's record here. Okay. So I'm always particular about my UI. And one of the things I can see is that my data is flying around. So what you can do is to right click and go to align, and I will distribute horizontally, right? I can also right click, align, and align top. Everything is in the same place. Yeah, is well aligned. So I can do the same thing. Control, all this. So I'm holding my control down. I'm selecting all of this. First, I want to make it same height. So as it's here, I can just come to height and say, make everything height of 40. What will happen? Everything will turn to height of 40. But, so they have the same height, but they are seated in different places. So I will just say, align top, right? I can say, let's bring this down. And let us also align and select distribute horizontally. So the space in between is equal. Awesome. So you have learned another thing now. But I want this to start from here. And I want this to be able to start from here. When my data is not well aligned.
My eyes is flying everywhere. All right, so we have this now, Agba. But if I say Oga, I will see this. Now, you can also search with description, you can search with request, you can search with names. You can even decide to search with something that contains. But if you're searching with something that contains, there's something we call delegation. Let me bring in a text box. So one thing I want you to search for today, I want you to search for delegation in Power Apps. Delegation in Power Apps. So as a junior Power Platform developer, it's good that you understand what delegation means in Power Apps. So if I go in here and I want it to be able to search anywhere I write it. If the data is so much, I will have issues. I want you to go and search for delegation. So what have we done today? Basically, we've been able to. So remember, you are going to learn what delegation. Ensure that you learn delegation. Let me make this big so that we can see. 30. All right. Delegation in Power Apps. Bring it to the middle. So remember, you're learning what delegation in Power Apps. So one of the things we can also do to our data, right, is we can come in here and decide that we want to do in, but like I said, it is not delegable. So I won't just be showing us that. All right. So another thing that we are going to do now is let's go back to our screen one. If you come to screen one, you can see that you can set, right? But another thing I have in my screen one is that I have what? I have a drop down, and I can set based on the data inside of this drop down. Okay, so I can search, but right now it's not working because inside here I have commented out this guy, which is what is making it work, and I've commented this out, and I'm showing just this. So if I go ahead and I comment this guy out, so my perhaps is all right, awesome. So I can come here and comment this out. So this is just me doing a single line of commenting. So this, if I do this black slash twice, it's going to comment this out. That's it's going to comment this one line, right? If I come here and I do this kind of commenting, what's going to happen? It's going to comment multi lines of comments. So that's what I've done. So now, if I come back to my data, right, and I choose all, it's going to show me everything I have in my data. In my database, if I choose data, it's going to show me where data is and all of that. So let's replicate this. So the first thing that we are going to do is come to our screen 3. What do we want to do? We want to insert a drop down. So bring in a drop down, and the drop down, you can see, remember I told us that item is what fills or what populates some particular kind of field, right? So the item for this one is just, they are telling us drop down sample, so take it away. Now we want to create a custom value inside of this drop down. So what you're going to do, you're going to give me the square bracket. So type square bracket inside of your drop down, and we're rounding up very soon. And we are going to put in all, that's our first value, comma. We are going to put in data, that's our second value. We're going to put in leave, third value. Another thing that we are going to put inside here is what? We are going to be putting laptop. Just exactly, I'm replicating what I have in my database. So if you play this, you have all data leave. So let's bring this up here. Okay. So we have all of this here, all data, leave, and laptop. So what we want to do, remember, we want to be able to filter this guy. So I'm going to use the single line of commenting, right? Another thing that you can actually use comment to do is to speak to your data. So if I have so many lines, I can just say, I can come down, comment again, and say, we are trying different types of filtering methods. Oh, that's not the spell method. All right. So what is happening is it is going to do what? It is going to comment this guy out. And once it is commented out, you will see it will turn to green. So the next thing that we want to actually do all right, so the next thing that we want to actually do is to be able to filter, right? We want to filter with this guy here. So let us just keep into this and so that you will not say, oh Lola, you're just writing all of the code. I don't understand what you're writing. This is just a beginner class. What are you writing? What are you writing? So let me just quickly explain what we have here. Now we already have what? We have our data inside the drop down. All data, leave, and all of that. So we will now say if drop down, whatever the name of your drop down is, if you choose all, please show me everything inside of my database. So this is my database. So let's try that one out first. Right? So let's go back to screen 3. You can see this is crying right now because there's nothing inside your item. So it's crying. It's crying because you have a text, you have label controls inside, and your label controls are doing what? So your label controls that are inside is referencing title. However, there's nothing in your item, and that's why it's crying. But don't worry, we are going to fix that now. So first, we are going to say if what? What's the name of this drop down? Drop down 3. So if just copy it, right? Copy drop down 3. Come back here and say that if drop down 3, remember drop down 3 is what? It has many values. Dot selected dot. So when you put dot, remember dot will show you properties dot value. So if drop down dot selected dot value equals all, so I'm saying that if it's all that I've selected, though, what should you do? Comma. I will now put in my database. My database is what? Learning Canvas app. So you can see that I am not performing magic. I'm just speaking to Power Apps. And I will close it. So if I close it now, you can see it has stopped crying. It has stopped crying. It has stopped crying. So if I choose laptop, it's not showing me anything because I've not said anything about laptop. But I've said something about all. So I'm saying when I select all, do what? Give me my database. Right? Simple. When I select all, give me my database. But there's another thing that we have written inside of screen 1. Let's go and pick and see. So select your gallery, the items property. We have said, so if drop down the selected dot value equals all, give me learning apps. But how if works is, if works with, let me just come here. So hold on a sec. So we have if drop down the selected the value equals all, give me what? Learning Canvas app. Else, filter learning Canvas app with for this one it is request, right? Because request is, let's see what we have under request. Request, we have laptop, we have data, we have leave, right? So what we have said now is filter this learning canvas app where request dot value, right? The value of request is the same thing as what? My drop down. Anything I select, the value I'm selecting in my drop down. So all I'm saying is compare the value I'm selecting in my drop down, check it with the value of my that is inside my database and show me that data. All right, so let's check that out. Let's try it out. So inside here we have if drop down the selected dot value give me learning canvas app, but if allows you to give it a true. For instance, the logical test is if drop down the selected dot value equals all, right? Do this, then else do another thing. So I have said if it's all, do this. But if it's not all, what do I want it to do? Right? I will now say if it's not all, filter. Filter what? What do I want it to filter? I want it to filter my database. Learning, my database is learning canvas. Before I finish writing it, perhaps to bring it out for me. Filter my database where my requests. Request is where am I looking for request? Request is a column in my database. Now remember that the column is what? Is a value, is a choice type. So it has different values. So I'll just say request dot value, right? Equals to what? Equals to what's the name of my drop that I gave? Drop down dot selected. Drop down 3. That's the name of my drop down 3 dot selected. It means anyone I select, compare it. Selected dot what? Dot value. Oops. All right. Dot value. So what have I said now? And you need to close this guy, right? If this filter this, so you need to close it. Awesome. So another thing that will let you know that you have not finished writing your code or your FX is that if I remove this now, I will not see my format text here. I know that, oh, my line of code is either incorrect or there's something I need to quickly add, right? So now, if you're looking for the bracket that covers one, you don't know where it is. If you just bring your cursor here, I will say that, oh, my if now is covered because my if has to be covered. My filter also has to be covered, right? And I format text. So when I format text, what am I saying in essence? I'm saying that you should format it so that I can be able, so that this line of code is readable. So as we round up, what we've said is if drop down 3 dot value, if drop down 3 dot selected dot value equals all, show me everything in Canvas app. If it is not all, now filter learning Canvas app with anything that you select in this drop down, compare with request value. So this is it. Play. I come to drop down. It is currently all, so it's showing me everything, right? If I come here and I do data, it will filter by data. If I come here and I do leave, it will filter by leave. If I come here and I do laptop, it will filter by laptop. Now I'm going to give us one assignment as we round up. Remember that inside of this, we have a filtering parameter using our search box. We have another one using what? Using drop down. So the assignment I'm giving you is, I want you, so now we have 2 assignments. Let's create another screen so that we will not say we do not see it. So we are creating another screen now. We are inserting a label control. And inside that label control, we are pasting, okay? So what I'm just going to do is, so I have delegation in Power Apps first, and here I'm going to say assignments. Assignments. Let me put in exclamation mark so that we'll know that it is very, and let me make it bold. In fact, I'll turn the color to what? I'll turn the color. No, this is what I want to make bold. Remember, when you want to do anything, select that particular start to write assignments looking different in my eyes. Start to write assignments. It's looking different in my eyes. It's been a long time I left school, that's why. All right, so let us change the color of the text to what? To red, so that we know that we mean serious business here. So the first thing that we want to do is so I want you to read about delegation in Power Apps. I want you to also combine the search, combine the search box, search box filter, combine the search box filter and the drop down filter. All right, that's what I want you to do. I want you to combine. Let me just bring in another text label to do this. Let me bring in another text label to do this. Awesome. So what we want to do is, your assignment is what? Delegation in Power Apps. Just read about, search online, search YouTube here, search for delegation in what? In Power Apps. Delegation in Power Apps, number 1. Number 2, search for how to combine the two filter controls, right? So when you learn this, then tomorrow when we come, we are diving into something awesome. But before we start tomorrow, of course, I'm going to check if we did our assignment, because one of the things that we actually want is that this class is as interactive as possible. This class it will give you the feel that you're actually in a classroom. So that's why I'm doing all these assignment. I'm giving you an assignment. So I want you to go and check this out. Okay. Awesome. So I want you to go and check what? Delegation in Power Apps. Combine the search box filter and the drop down filter. Okay. Really, been a while I left school. All right. So what I'm saying is, what do I mean by combine it? I want to be able to search for all, or search for data. And inside my search for data, what do I want? Inside my search for data, I want to be able, so now this is data. It has filtered this. So I want to be able to search for trainer inside of this. How can I do it? If I search for leave, now I want to be able to search for maybe Mokwelola inside of here, or maybe Ogagba trainer inside of here, right? So that when I search for Gagba trainer, it's going to now limit this to just David's record. So I want you to search how you can do that and do it on your own. Okay. So build an application, receive data, you've done that already. Show data, gallery, you've done that already. Filter data with drop down, you have done that today. Filter data with search box, you have done that today. Now your assignment is marry the two together, search box and drop down. How can I search with the two? Okay, so this is where I am going to stop and allow you to go and do your beats. So Agba teacher, when are we submitting our assignment? All right, you are submitting your assignment. When should we submit our assignment? So by tomorrow, let me know where you have gotten to. But ensure that before day 8, you have done your assignment. Day 8 is the deadline. But if you do it by tomorrow, that's still very good. All right. So that what will happen by day 8, we are not explaining, we are coming here. All of us are just building together. I'm going to build something very beautiful. I won't tell us yet. Today is day 6. You cannot even imagine what is going to happen on day 7. We are taking you higher day 7. And day 8, we wrap all of this up and we build an app and we call it a day. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for doing all of these things today. So let us know how the class has been. Let us know if you have learned something. Let us know if you will share this with other people, the link to all of these classes. And let us know if you will replicate this. So that'll be all. That'll be all from us today. Hi, David. How was the class?
Yeah, the class was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed myself. To be honest, I enjoyed all the filters and all the drop down and both the text box, right? So the different ways you can filter your data source. And now, yeah, so I think the assignment is going to be, it's challenging because now you have to combine both of them together. So it's going to be exciting to see what people come up with. So yeah, so let's pick it up as a challenge. Let's just get it done. Research about it. You in fact even brought up delegation, which is actually a fairly advanced topic, but it's good to bring it now so that people can be aware of it. So again, yeah, just read up on it. It's one of the most popular topics in Power Apps, to be honest. Trust me, it's one of those you will see a lot of things online, but just read up on it, understand it, and let's see what you come up with tomorrow or next tomorrow. Yeah, really appreciate this. Yeah. So I think that's it. I think that's all from us, to be honest. So yeah. So thank you very much for being with us. Bye bye from me.
Bye from me. See you guys tomorrow. Don't come late and bring somebody when you're coming. Bye, guys.